What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media, and This Is Difficult Video Game Podcast. I will be one of your hosts this evening. And I think my music's too loud. It sure is. There we go. That's better. Watching Paint Dry is the show where my friends and I hang out after we probably should have thought about going to bed and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures we've accumulated over the years that need painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to work on, he or she will die. So we're just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line, as always, my perennial painting partner, it's Broody Gambit. Mike, how's it going?
It's going great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I've been fighting some pretty nasty technical issues on my end. Viewers, if you notice, my video might be a little choppy today. That is because I am having to clone my webcam through the Windows camera app because OBS can't find it. And the only apps that I can get to find my cameras, and that's all three of them, that's my face cam, my document camera, and my capture card, are Windows Camera and Discord. So that's why I haven't been streaming lately. I don't know what's going on. I will do my best to fix it, and we'll get there at some point. It may involve totally reinstalling Windows, but here we are. Steam games work. This works, so we're good for now. But as soon as, like, Wolverine drops, I'm going to want to use my PlayStation again. So, you know, we'll fix it. We'll get there. It'll be fine. Everything is fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Let's not beat around the bush anymore. I've got some cool stuff to show off today, so let's get painting. As with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone, and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. There's the button, and we are off to the races. Who you got on the docket today, Broody?
I have got, aside from some slight malfunctions with the structure, the Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Reva from Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Neat! Oh, that's very cool. Very cool characters. So, I have Colossus to finish up from last time. Here he is, right here on the workspace. But I also have the Prowler. And I'm doing him because I'm doing Hobie Brown Prowler, so old school comics accurate Prowler. And the reason for that is we just wrapped up our Spider-Man 2 playthrough on Zach Sucks Games, and gosh dang, that game is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
There, have you played? You played the first one?
Yes, I played the first one 2 times.
Okay, so the first one was like kind of a perfect game in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
This one improves upon perfection in many ways, but not every way. For example, the story is extremely, well, I won't say predictable, because it's actually not. But it's like there's stuff to be desired there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's not perfect, and that's all right. But the big thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is I've got some new tools on the desk today, one of which I've already struggled with as I've poured water all over my desk. I got like a brush toilet thing that is now stuck to everything. I'm gonna have to like clean up here. It's a brush toilet. It's this thing from Green Stuff World that like it pours water automatically into this little reservoir thing. The problem is the whole bucket drained into the reservoir all at once. So I've done something, and then as your paint water gets gross, you flush it, and it replaces the water. But I don't know why it's done that. So I'm gonna like quickly research that and try and figure out what's going on. But I've also got some really awesome technical paints from Green Stuff World. I got like 48, 49, something like that, technical paints that I'm excited to find uses for as we can. But I need to clean up this mess first. So I'm going to go get a paper towel. I'll be right back. Keep them entertained for a moment, Broody.
Oh. I am painting at a new location as well because I have some upgrades. I just installed a new computer today, and I rearranged my desk, so now I have more room to paint. And yeah,
I was gonna say right off the bat, your workspace just looks nicer.
I flipped from the green that had paint and stuff to the other side, which is all white.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it is the same.
It's the same mat, just yeah, it's the clean side.
Nice. It occurs to me I probably should have tested this flushy thing before we went live.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just gonna swap back to my old water cup before I test this thing and test it off camera, which is a bummer, but here we are. Good job, I kept it right here, very close. We'll extract water.
I'm gonna need to work on some of this lighting from changing around everything.
Yeah, that's always such a bit of a struggle.
Right. I can see.
Just making this. Ah!
Oh,
This
I
is
can
going
see that
badly
I'm
wrong. Can you tell we're out of practice at this?
Yeah, no.
Both of us are just making mistakes right and left. Done that. Surrounded by just random bits of things. Everything's wet. It's all wet. My whole desk is wet. This is a nightmare.
I just reached to the opposite side where I used to keep my water cup, and it's like, nope, it's not there anymore. It's moved.
Yeah. I'm getting there. Things we should have tested before we went live. And we're doing it on camera because we're stupid. We have a word for this. It's learning and growing.
Should have thought ahead.
What's that?
It should have thought ahead.
Well, that too. That's all just garbage. The garbage pile. This flushy device, I'm going to give you one. No, I'm not. Yeah, that's really strange. It just continues to pour.
Have you tried jiggling the handle?
Yes, actually. So I'm gonna stick with the old school water cup method for today. As excited as I was about that, it is not worth the trouble. So lock that up, and we're good to go. Okay, great, fine. All right, the first paint that I wanted to show off tonight, and this is what I'm most excited about. And it's kind of neat that you're painting Star Wars minis, because like I feel like you might want some of this.
Mm-hmm.
It is called Max Darth. It is the blackest paint available to miniatures painters. It's basically Vanta black.
Okay.
And I have no idea what I want to use it for yet, but I have two 17 mil dropper bottles full of it. And I can't wait. I got to find a cool use for it. It basically makes three-dimensional things look flat.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see what that does. But the bulk of my Green Stuff World order is a box of technical paints. Now on the show, you've already repeat viewers have already seen. I have things like the Fluor line. They're neon or glow in the dark. I also have the color shift paint, which we've been working on. You can see the results of that on the Sentinel that Colossus is standing on. I'll zoom in on it. Lose some quality here, but that's all right. You can see the color shift kind of moving around in there. And those have been really cool. I've been liking those a lot. So I just ordered a Colossal Disaster set of 48 of them. So this is that set. It's huge. There's a ton of stuff in there. I'm very excited about it. I have no idea what we use most of it for, but here we are. Maybe we'll find a use for some of it today. I don't know. That said, back to work on Colossus. Starting out with yellow and red. Fortunately, we've already done the base coat, which means both of those, as our perennial nightmare colors.
Well, red's a really good color I like working with. Yellow, though, is a pain in the butt.
I struggle with red on some levels, but yellow... Oh, no. White and yellow are
yeah, white and yellow.
Nightmares.
White is so bad.
There's red can be a pain to shade because some decisions need to be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, do I like on Colossus? I went with Null and Oil as the ink, but I could very easily have made the change or the decision to go with Carisburg Crimson. So, but since we're going for an old school comic book feel, I feel like Null and Oil made the most sense. Oh, why am I doing that? I've got two. No, just like you with your water cup, I instinctively reached for a Citadel paint where I could have grabbed a TT Combat paint, but I'm gonna go with Citadel just because I know what it's gonna look like. The evil you know and all that. So how was your Thanksgiving, my friend?
Amazing.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I hosted for my family.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did the Star Wars dinner.
Yes, I did the Star Wars dinner. Everything was from the Galaxy's Edge cookbook. And everything was phenomenal.
So, and that's, to be clear, that's the Galaxy's Edge cookbook, not the Wookiee Cookies cookbook line.
Yes, that is the Galaxy's Edge cookbook. It's like a canonical, like Disney, it's canonical to the Star Wars universe.
That's fantastic. I mean, Wookiee Cookies is pretty cool, but you're
yes,
right.
I have that as well.
Say again?
I have that as well.
Yeah, I like the recipes in there. They're good. But I can't imagine Galaxy's Edge would be... I can't imagine a world in which the Wookiee Cookies recipes were as good by any means as the Galaxy's Edge ones. At the end of the day, they are just fan creations.
Yeah.
And taking nothing away from that, like, they are delicious. But... So run me through your menu.
Okay, so for appetizers, I made Pitmaster's Choice, which is a pork jerky.
Okay.
There were Mustafarian lava buns. It was
Lava
just like
buns? Oh, I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense because Mustafar, yeah.
Yeah. Those were neat because like you make two types of dough, one with red food coloring and one with black food coloring.
Oh, cool.
And the red food coloring is like a standard dough, and the black food coloring dough is really, really runny. So you make the rolls, and then you baste the black food coloring over the red food colored rolls. So when it cooks, there's like a two-layer like color thing.
That's crazy.
Then there was roasted kajaka root, which
Okay,
is
yep.
it was just like sweet potatoes with like a peanut butter, honey, and cinnamon topping on, and then with like craisins.
So very Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And deviled Jacoby eggs.
So deviled eggs.
Yeah, deviled eggs, but instead of mayonnaise, I made emul sauce, which is also from the book, which is like egg yolk and miso paste and a couple other things.
Miso paste, dang dude. Miso paste so good.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the 4 appetizers. Then I made, for the main course, the braised shock roast, which was just a rib roast that served over pasta, and it was really good. Then I made Nerf kebabs, which was like a meatball on a kebab.
Yep.
And then fried Andorian tibia, which was like fried chicken.
Nice.
Over mashed choke root and with Gurek gravy, which were also other recipes from the book. The mashed choke root was like parsnips instead of potatoes.
Blink, I'll get to that in just 1 second.
And then for dessert, I made Kowakian crumb cake.
That looked so good.
Yeah. It was super delicious.
That's so. My burning question though, like, I come from with no word of a lie, my cousin introduced me to Star Wars. Like, the reason that I'm a Star Wars fan is because of my cousin, and I don't think he did it like advertently, because he just happened to have the movie on at one point. But nobody. Well, my brother more recently has become a big Star Wars nut. Which I love because it gives me and my brother something to talk about when we're together. And so if I had done something like that, Tim would have really loved it. Like he would have been all about it. But the rest of my family would have been like, what? Like what? No. So how did your family, like, how did it go over?
It went over very well. We didn't. My nephew and niece were with their dad, so it was just me, my sister, her fiance, and my parents.
Okay.
So all adults, which made it a little bit easier. They were willing to try food and other stuff like that. Even though it like had the presentation and sounded funny, they were willing to try a lot of the stuff. So yeah, it went over really well. They were very happy that I was just going through everything and doing all the work, setting up and posting and going through the presentation and the cooking and all the other stuff. So they were very gracious about it and very glad to just be able to partake.
That's awesome. Yeah. Ours was pretty chill. I mean, we went up to New York to my wife's family. And, you know, it was just quiet. We went to a hockey game.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. Got to visit my college for the first time since graduation. Yeah, it was just like the stars aligned and we were able to get out of town for a couple days, and it just needed to happen, you know? Everybody was getting burnt out. We were getting frustrated with each other for everything, and we're like, you know what? We're just going to enjoy a few days off the grid and really just have some fun. And we did. And then my wife and I celebrated our sixth wedding anniversary in Boston this past week. Went to a concert and had a really nice dinner, which we definitely couldn't afford, but you know what? You only celebrate a 6th anniversary, well, as minimally as possible, let's put it that way. So, oh yeah, no, Blink, I hear that. There were like twice as many buildings as there were when I graduated. But Blink mentioned, how's my head? Well, you should see the other guy. No, coming out of the concert on Wednesday night, I got into a fight with a lamppost.
Okay.
And definitely gave myself a small concussion, which is why I've been AWOL the last couple of days. Definitely intended to stream last night, and I was just like, no. I need to rest. Also, I was still fighting with the camera issues, so I have tagged both Paul and Colin in to try and get my cameras back up and running without having to rebuild my rig, but quite honestly, I think that's just what's going to need to happen. Yeah, so it was a great day in Boston up until that point. We got to see one of our favorite performers and chat with him for a bit. Katie was really apprehensive, you know, going into it because, like, we're in our mid-30s now, you know? Like, we're not early 20s, or, you know, late teens, early 20s, and handling, you know, for lack of a better word, a mosh pit the way we used to. And I am so much more content now to just get the meet and greet passes so you can see a couple of songs from the front row, and then for the main show, just like retreat to the balcony, grab a drink, and enjoy. You know? And Katie didn't really realize that because I've been going to concerts for a long time, and I used to be all about being on the front row on the railing, and you know, wiping myself out every show. So once I articulated to her that, hey, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm planning on just being on the top shelf. Like, she was a lot more into it. And this is a guy we've seen, you know, more than half a dozen times at this point. But he's never bad. Like, he's just so good at what he does. And he's so, you know, personable and polite. He was at the meet and greet. He was genuinely spending like 10 minutes with every group. Like, it was not just a fly by night, you know, shake hands, get an autograph, and leave. Which is awesome. I brought my all-time favorite record to get signed, which was awesome. Been waiting for that for a long time. for those wondering, it's a record called Everything in Transit by the band Jack's Mannequin. And that is, of course, who we saw. It's kind of fitting, too, because the very first time I saw Andrew McMahon play was with Jack's Mannequin, and the same band members he had playing on that first show, which I should be clear was the second concert I ever went to, were the same band members performing the other night.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was neat. Neat little full circle moment. Hey, Remote Error, what's going on? We're talking about head injuries. But it was actually, like, it was so funny when I hit that poll. Like, it seemed like something out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. My wife noticed a variant license plate that she had never seen before, and she's like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And I turned around and then immediately ran into a lamppost.
Mm-hmm.
And it was full on, like, arms splayed out, every part of my body colliding with the pole. It was very goofy. Too much water. Oh yeah, no, well, not my legs, but like my arms definitely did. And I had to teach the next day. I'll be honest, I was unaware that the human body could actually do that. After brightening up this red, I've got half a mind to just leave the yellow alone. We'll see what happens, but... Among other things, just chilling at the end of the day while in town. Got a Yule log playing. Nice! I got one of those playing in my classroom.
A what?
Yule log. The fireplace. And, of course, Blink's out here making dad jokes about it, but much respect. We love a good dad joke around here. Broody, of course, the progenitor of Go to Bed Broody.
Mm-hmm. Was PAX Unplugged this weekend?
It was, yeah. Or it is.
Yeah. Somali asked if I was going, and I was sad to say that I was not.
Yeah, dude, like, we got asked. I mean, FRG asked the sidekicks if we could go, and they asked us like 2 weeks ago, and it's like, no, yeah, like no. First of all, it's way too close to the holidays. It's way too close to the holidays. But second of all, it's like, give us more notice than that. And, like, of course, you know, Greg was, like, trying to pull every string and manipulate his way into going, and we're like, dude, is it gonna be fun with like, literal none of the rest of us there?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we can all get a hotel, and, you know, it'll be fine. I'm like, Greg, we can't do that. Like, some of us have lives.
Yeah, booking a hotel last minute.
It's gonna be heinously expensive. So I said, look, no. If you want us to work on Unplugged, you need to tell us at Gen Con. But that's the very latest.
Yeah.
And you need to expect that we won't necessarily have an answer for you right then. What are you drawing, Remote Air? What are you working on? Oh, so as of 3:10 yesterday, my 8th grade students are officially Hershey Park accomplished.
Nice.
Yeah. They have raised $5,000, which for 7 kids is more than enough to get them there and back again. They convinced the school board to let them use minivans instead of a rented bus, which was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very excited. And it's just about that time, too, when, you know, motivation just keeps, you know, just kind of takes a nosedive. Go by limo, yeah. Because that would go over well, Blake. My God, I'm just making a giant mess tonight.
Yeah, what did you do this time?
So the TG combat paints have like this weird like safety ring in them,
Okay.
and I just dropped it in a bunch of paint. And also, this one just keeps leaking. Just get the cold stuff put away and outside out of my. Nice.
What's up?
Oh, Remote Error says they are drawing a reference sheet for personal character. Before that, made an art of the Naturalist.
Nice.
Someone asked the guy you were painting to give him a hand. Maybe. Who's to say, Blake? So we started decorating the door of my classroom for the holidays yesterday.
Uh-huh.
In an effort to go suitably non-denominational, but also like suitably festive, we're dressing it up as the door to 221B Baker Street.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look good, I think. The kids have been very inventive about it. As of right now, it's just a door with black paper over it, but...
Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah. The problem is, like, I'm only at that building one day a week, and the core teachers sort of refuse to let the students work on things for me outside of class.
Uh-huh.
Which is, like, it genuinely feels like I'm being sabotaged every year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, I'm not coming in on a day that I'm teaching in another building because I can't.
It's super convenient with my new paint setup to not have to like crawl underneath my desk to use my vortex mixer.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like, it's just on my desk now, so...
Yeah, that's fantastic. I might, like, I gotta get rid of a bunch of these Citadel paints and just free up some space to my left. I really do like the TT Combat a lot better.
And one of the other things that, like, I was talking with my friend, it's going to be like a stretch goal for my office now, is, one of the new monitors I got, is set up, like, with brackets, that I can wall mount it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about mounting it up against the wall directly behind all my paint stuff.
Oh,
so
that's a cool idea.
Throw the stream up there, and have it separate from the other monitors and stuff.
Yeah. So I have 3 monitors, 2 on like a swivel thing, and the third just, well, it's a TV.
Sorry, how many monitors do you have?
3.
Yeah, I'm getting a 4th one for this setup. which is why like I was like, oh wait, I could probably, instead of just having the 4 on the desk, I can maybe try and install one on the wall.
Yeah. This might help. Hey, now I can see what I'm doing. I forgot to turn the light on again.
Yeah, the one new monitor that I do have set up right now is it's actually a curved screen monitor.
Yeah, the one that I've got my stream preview on is curved. I don't really notice a difference, although I don't use it for gaming. I use the TV. So
yeah, it does seem a little weird at times when I like look into it, and there's like a weird depth to the screen.
yeah.
But oh well.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, literally today was the first day that I've ever used a curved screen, so...
Right. I do use it when I'm doing 3D modeling stuff, which is kind of nice. So like when I'm prepping a build plate or something like that. Did you watch the Scott Pilgrim cartoon yet?
I have not. I don't have Netflix.
Ah, okay. I really liked it. But it is... You get through the first episode, you're like, oh, wow, okay. It is definitely not the same story.
Okay. But they got the same, like Michael Cera and everyone's back to do the voices?
Spoilers?
Sure.
Okay, so yes is the short answer.
Okay.
The spoilery, slightly longer answer is, well, they're back. Michael Cera is in exactly 2 episodes.
Okay.
Maybe 3. But that's probably all I should tell you. No, it's really fun. It's really good. Science Star absolutely knocked it out of the park in terms of animation quality. It's very much worth it. I really had a good time watching it.
Good.
In non-entertainment news, skiing season has officially begun. The reason I know this is because my jerk of a 12-hour shift cousin and my retired father were texting me all day long on Friday from the top of various mountains. And I'm reasonably certain that my brother, who seems to have slightly more common decency than the other two, was also out there with them.
But was not rubbing it in your face?
But was being polite and not rubbing it in my face. My brother, meanwhile, was the first raffle prize winner for my 8th grade. 8th graders did a daily prize drawing raffle all through... They've got one going all through December. My brother didn't really know what he was buying, but bought 5 tickets.
Uh-huh.
And, oh my gosh! Blink! I love The Witch King! Such a good book! Oh my goodness. Have a great night and enjoy your read. So good. Anyway. Yeah, so I called him last night from the car on my way home, bringing Kara home. And, he was just laughing. He had no idea what he had won. But it's gonna be cool.
I'm very pleased with the space.
Always good.
Now I'm just hoping I don't mess it up as I try to add in eyebrows.
Oh, the struggle. And on that scale, it's hard. It's definitely a brighter yellow than I thought it was, but I'm not disappointed. It matches with the red.
Yeah, I didn't completely ruin the eyebrows.
Good, good.
I added a little bit too much black for the eyebrows, but I did it above the eye, not into the eye.
Well, that's at least where it belongs.
Yeah, so then it's just like adding a little bit more of the skin tone on top of it to fix that problem.
Yeah.
As opposed to ruining the eyes by going into the eye.
Right. I'm pretty happy with this.
I hate how this document camera... The orientation's just weird for me. I have to like keep adjusting and trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's always kind of a learning process. Alright. Silver next, I guess. So I don't think we've had an episode since the SAG strike ended.
Pretty
happy with there only being one Marvel movie next year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so burnt out.
Very much so.
The Marvels was really fun. Like, it was really fun. I wish more of them could be like that. But man, I'm just so tired of. Like, I almost go to see Marvel movies out of obligation. You know what I mean? Like, you and I have very differing opinions on the DC films. I don't tend to love them very much. But I'd almost rather go see those at this point. Just because it's
I did
different.
see Blue Beetle.
What's that?
I did see Blue Beetle over Thanksgiving.
Yeah?
And I enjoyed it a lot. I really like Jaime. Like, I have the first issue that he appeared in. Like, I've been like reading the character since he was created. And they like the movie was pretty good. Like, a touch soapboxy at times, but for the most part, pretty like just
Tolerable.
really fun and enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So Blue Beetle is one of those characters. Blue Beetle, I actually have a very close connection with. The original Blue Beetle was created by Jack Kamen, who is the grandfather of one of my best friends from college.
Cool.
Yeah. And she and I did a lot of archiving work. When I first started at the comic book store, I found a ton of old Jack Kamen issues. They were reprints mostly, but like, it was neat for her to have some of her grandfather's work.
Yeah.
Of course, that last name may be familiar to some viewers. She is the niece of Dean Kamen, who is the founder of First Robotics, as well
Of what
as
robotics?
First FIRC, for inspiration and recognition of science and technology, high school robotics competition.
Okay.
And just a neat fellow. I'm using a really, really bright silver for the top coat on this. And I was a little apprehensive about it. I'm actually really loving this. After ink wash, he was looking pretty grubby, which I liked, but I didn't love. And adding this really bright top coat on all three main colors is just really, it makes it pop. I think I'm going to leave the Sentinel pretty much alone. Not a whole lot in terms of highlighting. Just because I think it makes Colossus pop a little bit better.
Yeah.
So what are the Christmas holiday plans looking like for you?
I think I'm going to be hosting again, although I'm not going to do like a full spread cooking this year or this time.
Time to dial it back a little.
Yeah, just a little. I mean, I love cooking, and I like
yeah.
Like at one point in time, like going into culinary school was an option on my table that I had thought about doing.
Same, actually.
But alas, I chose something else. So, like, I really love cooking, and I love eating.
Yeah.
And I love eating what I cook and sharing what I cook with other people. So yeah, I have no idea exactly, other than my family's coming into town, and we're gonna have to work out just kind of general plans.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little lower key for us too. My cousin's wife is pregnant and due very soon.
Yep.
So they won't be coming, and that of course also means my aunt and uncle won't be coming because they'll be there. So I don't know. It's gonna be pretty up in the air for us. We're trying to convince Katie's parents to come down and spend Christmas with our family, which is being met with mixed results. Obviously, they're more than invited, but you know, that's a lot of traveling for them, and I get that. It's the route that they take. It's a 6-hour drive. It doesn't have to be, but the weird back roads in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, are. I can navigate them, you know.
But yes, complicated at other times.
Yeah, especially with snow on. Okay, I'm enormously happy with this. I'd say by most comic book characters I've been introduced. Zack the Navigator. Yeah, well, also just I commit things to memory. Mine too, Remote Error. My first introduction to Blue Beetle was Brave and Bold. I love that cartoon. It's so good. John DiMaggio Aquaman is maybe best Aquaman. At least in terms of animation.
I don't know, the Justice League Aquaman's pretty badass.
The Justice League cartoon?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one nearly as well as I remember Brave and Bold. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I did watch... Oh! I finally got around to watching The Doom That Came to Gotham.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Aggressively mediocre, isn't it?
Aggressively mediocre. Yeah. But, like, there's some bits that are like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Well done. Yeah. You know?
It took me, like, 2/3 of the way through the movie before I realized, like, they were doing all the different Robins.
Yeah.
And so I got that the one was Dick Grayson, but it, like, they changed him to be Indian, Jason Todd.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And it took me forever to, like, pick that up.
Yeah.
I just thought it was, like, a different character.
Yeah. And Oliver Queen was really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that story would be better told through the traditional comic book medium.
Yeah.
With a really, really prolific illustrator. And I'm
Very
not
much.
talking Greg Capullo. Like, Capullo art would not work for that. So, I don't know. It was fine. Like, it was... I don't regret purchasing it. I will probably watch it again when I'm working on something else.
Yeah, I ended up just watching it on HBO Max when it came out.
Yeah. I mean, it was not expensive. It was like $15 or something like that. So I'm not upset about it. All right, what am I doing next? You know what? I'm gonna try something. This is probably gonna be bad news bears, but I'm gonna. Gosh darn it, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take. A little bit of Necron compound. Just get a little bit of silver in here. It is metal after all. It is badly damaged. Alright. Perfect. Alright. Stone. Finish up this base and get this guy shipped off. Oh, I gotta do the base ring still. Oh, you know what?
What?
Colossus is from Siberia, isn't he?
He's from Russia somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know where. I find it odd that he'd be from Siberia because I'm pretty sure he was a farmer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm mistaking that because he was introduced in the same episode as Omega Red. I know the X-Men. Similarly, I know the X-Men to what Remote Error was saying. I know the X-Men primarily from the cartoon.
Yeah.
I did not read the comics until much later. Is one of the reason I bring that up is one of the technicals I have is called Liquid Frost.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what it does, and I'm curious. But I think that's for another day.
I want no oil. I want Agrax Earthshade. And here's for cruising. Oh, let's do this. I need more Agrax Earthshade. I'm almost out.
Uh-oh. That's a staple. You can't run out of that.
Luckily, I don't need a lot for this. It's just the desert. Sandy areas.
Yeah.
Probably not much, but...
Alright, now the question becomes... Is Colossus's base ring red or silver?
that's a tough one. I think I'd go red though.
Yeah, me too.
Silver's just kind of bland.
It is, yeah. I used it for like north of Mongolia. Okay, perfect. Thank you, remote error. Not north enough to warrant doing ice effect on his base. That's
Sorry, what do you say?
He said it is the Ust-Ordensky Collective near Lake Baikal in Russia.
Those are words.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar enough with Russian geography that I can kind of figure that out. I can make it work in my head. All right, man, I got so many of these based in red.
There.
A bigger brush now. There. You know what's really monumentally frustrating?
What?
So, my favorite television show is Taskmaster. And it's over until New Year's Eve. There's the Taskmaster New Year's treat. Which is a one-shot episode, and great, fine. But the last 10 weeks, my Thursday night has been, okay, I'm going to have a couple of scoops of ice cream, and I'm going to watch Taskmaster. And this past Thursday, I was like, oh, but there's no Taskmaster. And there's 103 shows that I am way behind on watching, but I couldn't be bothered to watch any of them because it wasn't Taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that just comes with being a dad. I start to prioritize a little bit more. But, like, the apathy that I have toward television right now is unreal.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching too much. I've been season 2 of Bosch Legacy just came out, like last month or October.
Yeah.
And so like all the episodes are out, so I started watching that.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like I when shows are dropping week to week, by and large, I can't be bothered anymore. Like, I'd rather just wait for it all to be available and watch it all, on my own time.
Yeah.
And, like, Taskmaster is unique in that because it's, like, one episode to another doesn't have any bearing on anything.
Yeah. Not serialized.
Right. So I don't mind waiting a week in between episodes. But, like, Scott Pilgrim, for example, I watched it all at once because I was like, this is all one continuous narrative. You're off camera, by the way.
And what? Oh.
And like, so, my next order of business is probably Only Murders in the Building, season 3. And I'm like, I don't want to start it because I know I'm going to want to watch like 3 or 4 episodes of this. When I got sick back in January, like the best thing to come out of that was I caught up on all the shows that I wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, can we talk for a minute about Andor?
Yeah.
That show is so good.
Yes, it was. It was amazing.
Is there going to be a season 2 of that? Do we know?
Yes, yeah, they're working on it.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, that show was good.
That show is so good.
It started out a little bit slower than I had hoped it would, but like it was totally necessary and totally worth it. Yeah, Star Wars. I haven't seen Ahsoka yet. I need to.
Ahsoka's also really good. But I do understand the complaints of if like it's Rebels season 5, and if you haven't invested in Rebels,
Which I haven't.
it falls a little flat.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. So here's Colossus. I'm declaring him done. Thoughts?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh
you're
yeah,
good.
he looks great.
I love how shiny he looks.
Mm-hmm. I like the striation on the yellow down his chest. It makes it like really pop and look good.
Yeah. Looks old school. I'm happy with it. All right. Putting him aside. Hobie Brown. It's the Prowler. From Amazing Spider-Man number 78. Night of the Prowler. I have 4 different TT combat paints ready to rock and roll, but the biggest area, of course, looks like the blue. So I'm going to go with this Vega Blue-Gray. And we'll see where that takes us. So this is technically an Aaron Davis model, but I'm going off book. I'll make this my own. So I have to add more gray to this. So it should be okay. Cape, hood, gloves, boots. Take my headphones off for a minute. One of the downsides about wearing a hat under my headphones is my ears get like pinched.
Uh-huh.
But I was making a joke to myself just before we went live. You can always tell if I've been home alone with the baby because I'm usually wearing a hat because I haven't had a chance to comb my hair. And I'm usually wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday because when did society decide that we have to change and wash a t-shirt after every individual use? And because I normally stream Fridays and Saturdays, it's pretty glaringly obvious when I'm wearing the same shirt. Oops, we got... Yeah! Bruins beat the Maple Leafs. Woo! Take that. Yeah, stay warm. It's just true. It's also very warm in this office. The heater is right there. I'm trying to keep my hand on screen, but yeah, it's right behind me. The heater for the house. Well, one of 2. We have our pellet stove also, which I like better, but... Alright. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, cool. Darken right up with the Nuln oil, so I think we'll be okay. Big ups to C27 Minis and Terrain for this sculpt, known as Night Dubstepper. As I said, it is technically an Aaron Davis model, but we're making it Hobie Brown because reasons. So my 3D digital design team, my 8th graders, has started piecing together what elements they want on their roller coaster.
Okay.
They've got a really cool... So they borrowed some elements from Expedition Everest.
Okay.
With the track switching.
Yeah.
And they're gonna learn from the Disco Yeti mistakes, so their animatronics are not going to be built into the superstructure.
Okay.
Bring the mountain down, if it moves. They're gonna have it'll be random track switching. So they've got 3 different options for a track.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really neat and innovative. So every ride, well, not every ride, but like if you go on the ride more than once, it's likely to be different the second time. Oh my gosh, I think I found a use for my Max Darth Black.
What's that?
Prowler's mask.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna see what happens. We'll do it in just a second here. Where's the white and supposed to be? Finished another book today.
What's that?
It's called The Thursday Murder Club.
Okay.
It is a, for lack of a better word, a bunch of geriatric private investigators.
Okay.
Like they live together in a nursing home. And they become private investigators.
Okay.
It's quite awesome. Very funny.
Were they private investigators before moving to the nursing home?
No.
Okay.
They were listening to like true crime podcasts and stuff together. And they were like, oh, now there's been a murder. I guess we have a thing to do. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's written by Richard Osman from Taskmaster and other UK panel style TV shows. and looking forward to book 2.
The huge cloak is way too close to his legs and lightsaber.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, it's really good. Remote error. It's a bit of a slow roll getting started, but it does pick up steam toward the end. And there's skating involved, so of course I love it. I do recommend reading it, though, as opposed to... Like, I listened to it on Audible, and I had to, like, rewind and re-listen to a couple bits. Because I just missed a detail here or there. So I do recommend reading a physical copy if you can. It's not expensive. I'm also, of course, still in the midst of my Sherlock Holmes reread. On The Hound of the Baskervilles, my favorite. Or one of my
That was the
favorites.
first Sherlock Holmes that I'd ever read.
Say again?
That was the first Sherlock Holmes I'd ever read. I was 8 years old.
Yep. Oh, you were 8? Damn.
Yeah.
I have one of my 8th graders. One of my 8th graders just wrapped it up and did a book report on it. I was very proud of him.
Yeah, I had upgraded when I was 8 from Hardy Boys to Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. I believe I also arrived at Sherlock Holmes via the Hardy Boys. And that's taking nothing away from the Hardy Boys. Great series, but Holmes just a little bit more classic.
Yeah, Hardy Boys, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Hardy Boys. It's just, yeah, definitely, like, younger.
Yeah. And you don't realize it when you're reading it, too, because they're 16 and 18, respectively. So, like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, these guys are, like, basically adults. And then you keep reading and you realize, oh, no, they're still pretty childish sometimes. Yeah, but the Thursday Murder Club is a lot of fun. Definitely written with, you know, a tongue-in-cheek to the crime fiction genre. Which makes sense. I mean, Richard Osman is, while not a, you know, professional comedian in the same way as I'm trying to think of someone, Jimmy Carr or like John Richardson or something like that. You know, he's comedy adjacent. He writes for a lot of panel shows and stuff, and performs on them a lot. And he is naturally a funny human being. He just, you know, professionally is not a comedian. And so that comes through in the book too, which is nice. Alright, that sorted. loose feeling in my hand. I'm not sure why that is. Why do I have 3 shades of green now? That's weird. I don't think I need ogre bogey green after all. Maybe I was intending on mixing them, but maybe I'm not going to. I don't know. Down a brush size for the next bit. What's this? Oh, this. Oh, that's a cool brush. Look at that.
What's up?
Oh, this is a, okay. It's a base coat brush. Okay, that makes sense. I just found a brush that came with my speed paints that I had forgotten about. But I do believe I'm going to put it to use. That did not get adequately mixed.
I hate it when that happens.
Well, I'm really liking these TT Combat paints because and I don't know if that's true. No, it's not true with the others. So the nozzle is clear, like perfectly clear, so you can see it if it's just medium coming through the tube. It's still just medium. There we go.
So I see a lot of people recommending on painting groups and stuff of diluting your, like, mixing water in with your paints.
I mean, I get the wet palette, but like,
Yeah, it's like I have it on the wet palette, but I've never understood the diluting paints thing.
yeah, I've never really understood it either.
Like add like a 1 part water to 2 parts paint, or 1 part to 1 part, or I don't know exactly how much people say to dilute because it's always different. But
Right, everybody has their own opinions. I mean, I will, like, right now I'm adding a little bit of water just for flow control, but that's it, you know. Yep, definitely something that's always baffled me. Chamali does it, I think. Maybe we ask him next time he's on the show, whenever that might happen to be.
I need.
Oh, I got a reproduction box for my Chrono Trigger cartridge.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Like, I was like, okay, the cartridge itself is original, but it's really hard to find a box that somebody has that doesn't want. So
Yeah.
let's poke around Etsy. For $8, I found a really, really high quality reproduction box. I'm like, this is very reasonable. And God's forbid Nintendo shut that store down, so I'm not going to shout them out, but they know who they are, and I appreciate them. And we'll be giving them more business in the future. Because I also recently picked up an American copy of Super Metroid.
Awesome.
Imagine that. One of my all-time favorite games, and I didn't up until recently actually have a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a Japanese copy, and it works great because it's the same game. But
I thought that blue would be a little bit darker.
it will, because
Don't you want it?
I'll wash it with Null and Oil. This is 1960s, so it's the deep highlights or deep shadows rather. You know what? I'm fed up with this brush. It's terrible.
Which brush is that?
The Army Painter one.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. Might make for a good inking brush, though. I'm not going to abandon it altogether, but it's on my poop list. These Deco brushes just hold paint better. Oh yeah. Oh, that's better. Okay, so you're a food guy. I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked my wife at dinner tonight.
Okay.
Every cook, I'm using the word cook very deliberately here, has a dish that is like, they know it like the back of their hand. They can make it under any circumstances. If Bobby Flay or whatever came up to you and said, I challenge you to a throwdown right now, you choose the dish, what would it be?
I don't know.
We struggled with it too. Like, neither one of us could come up with a solid answer. My French toast is certainly up there, but it's really just binging with Babish. My scrambled eggs are pretty dope, but there's nothing to them.
Yeah, that's a really tough question.
Isn't it?
Is there like a time limit on preparation and cooking?
No.
There's like my like pulled pork that I like smoke and stuff. Like smoking pulled pork is really good.
There you go.
And that's like super easy.
Which would allow you time to put together a cool side dish or something like that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a side effect of just being hungry when I work, but this should come as no surprise that teachers have trouble eating adequately when they're on the job because we're always busy. But I watch a lot of food YouTube. So I watch Mythical Kitchen, and I used to watch Binging with Babish, but there are reasons that I no longer watch him. And it's really just a personal preference, so nothing there. No story or anything. I recently found this guy. I think he's Brazilian. His name is Guga, Chef Guga, and his channel is called Guga Foods. And he does mostly steak, but he does other meats as well. Just really fascinating cooking tips from that guy. Does a lot of experiments on his channel. It's cool stuff. Strange. My fingers are falling asleep tonight.
That's not good.
No. Alright. Hand a rest here. Ooh, sounds good. Remote air. I've been doing a lot more pork lately. My family not super into red meat. It's not really our thing. So we do eat a lot of pork. I shouldn't say a lot. A non-zero amount. But let me tell you, pulled pork sandwiches, whew, so good. Alright, let's get the other shade of green going. Dexterity coming up clutch. Let's go with a smaller brush. We're gonna need it in a second anyway. This one. I hope, I guess. Interesting. Was easy. You ever do a piece of a mini and you're just like, that was way too easy?
Yes.
Like his chest emblem here was way the heck too easy. I'm a little alarmed by that. That's alright. We'll take the win. Alright. Oh, I gotta do... I'm just patching up the blue here.
So I also started learned how to play Lorcana.
Yeah, I heard that game is like okay.
It's pretty fun. I liked it a lot. Pretty quick and easy to learn. I ended up getting the 2 new starter decks for the Floodborn.
Uh-huh.
The Floodborn set, which is the second wave or second set or whatever.
Yeah. Second drop.
Yeah.
What bothers me about that game is less the game itself and more the fact that it's popular because of a speculator market.
Yes.
Like, that's stupid. It doesn't seem like anybody actually cares about the game itself, and it's like... It's a fine game. Like... Oh, that could be remote error. Sorry, I just missed that comment. Alright, Max Darth coming out. 10 minutes to go in the stream. We're doing it.
Do it now.
Do it. I think this is going to make Prowler look particularly creepy, so... That's the hope, anyway. drop should do it. Here we go. All right. Even just watching it sit on the wet palette, like, that is very black. There's a light shining directly on it, and it's reflecting basically none of it. I think when it dries, it's going to be just absolutely insane. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Just wondering if there's any other place I can throw a little bit on here. Not at the moment, alright. That's really cool.
Yeah.
His eyes look like flat.
Nice. That does look really awesome.
That looks really neat. Way to go, Green Stuff World. Oh my god. Alright, a little silver and we're locked here.
Okay. Well, that's the Grain Inquisitor. Watch. And Reba watch. And she's dry. But I don't think we're gonna continue on.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have much more. I'm just trying to finish up Prowler in terms of base coating. Hit him with some Null Oil, and then we'll bounce here. This is one of those nice ones that's just the whole mini inked with Null Oil. Keeps it nice and easy. Bit of patching, Null Oil, and we're out of here. Alright, let's hit it with the Null Oil and we're out of here. Bigger brush, that one. Where be it? That's camo shade, that's not what I'm looking for. That's Null Oil. My god, that Max Darth just... it's insane. It's so cool.
Yeah. Let's say Riva is done drying, at least for her base coat and wash. Lots of shades of black.
Yeah. So I went really heavy with this to darken up that blue. I think that seems to be working.
Did you use normal oil or is that Dragon Hawk?
That's Null Oil. In the 1960s, the shadows were all just black.
Yeah.
So, so when I'm doing a character that originated in the 1960s, it's generally just Null Oil, and that's it. Unless there's a very specific reason for me to use something else. Which sometimes there is. I go pretty thick with it, too, because we're strapped for time. As they are now. Alright, Prowler, 50%. More than 50%, because highlighting isn't actually that much effort. And Colossus, Dunzo. Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in tonight to this nonsense. Hopefully, hopefully we'll be back at it next week. I don't see why we wouldn't. I'll be back on the channel on Monday for Zach Sucks at Games. Camera's working okay, so we're gonna go with it. We're gonna be playing Cthulhu Saves Christmas.
Yay!
Seems very appropriate. I don't know how many streams we're gonna get out of that game, but I'm working on getting some cool special guests lined up. God of Arkham. You know, we'll see. So yeah, tune in for that. Broody, this is always a joy. I'm so excited that I get to do this with you.
Yep. I love it as well. It's great. So, what?
Yeah. Oh no, you're short. Your response was yep, just straight to the point. I was like, yes, that's awesome. All right. So we will talk to you in a week for more of this watching paint dry nonsensical whatever. And in the meantime, catch me on Monday and Friday for Zach Sucks Games, and have a great week. Take care, everyone. Bye.
See ya.